Welcome to Dave's Drama Diner, episode 46. I am your host, Devious Dave Rose. And as always, let's start off the show by showing our gratitude and appreciation to all those who have chosen to spend their time with us here today. So, going to our list, way up, we have the one and only, the Nine Gods, Nicky Nines himself. It's the Costanza, Steve Callan, Danimal, the man who wields the shiny wrench, Chad, Fess Love, Derailed News and Podcast, and I'm sure a few more will be filtering in now that we're finally done our introduction. And it looks like there are many people already quite aware of the stream, because we already got 3 thumbs down. Oh, such a pity. Such a pity. But I welcome you. There is quite a lot to talk about. Well, I don't know a lot, but there's a few things of substantial weight that could be talked about. And I know that you people love the Drama Diner. And why shouldn't I open it to you? But we have a lot of stuff going on, obviously, with the Kyle Rittenhouse case that's going on. But actually, I want to rewind. First of all, I want to commend myself for being so awesome. And I encourage you to do so yourself. But the date today is November 10th, 2021. Now, November 3rd is the last date that I interacted with Joe, with his show, where that was the election night review and stuff, and they wanted me on, and they still wanted to have like 15 people on the call and stuff. I made this very clear. What's up, Jay Diz? And they wanted to make a big deal, but I wanted to remind people that although there are many, and there are many, that thought that I would flip-flop and go back to Joe after this, I didn't. This is over a year, so it's a year's worth anniversary. And particularly, what's his name? Luke Rojas. Who actually made a video some time ago, which I believe I reviewed and others did as well, where he was talking shit about people that Joe had on and also Joe, but he also said, like, Dave Rose is going to be back on Joe's show at any point now. And, well, this is over the 1-year anniversary, and I have not returned. So, and remember as well, is that obviously there was that opportunity with the episode 300, but I was never invited. And remember as well that Ken got direct messages from Joe inviting him on the show. I did not. So, we got to keep that in mind. Now, I do want to play some of that... Well, before I continue, I just want to say that, Luke Rojas, you are obviously stupid, but you've been relegated to obscurity because you no longer appear on the shows and such. And, Mr. Consistent proved somebody else wrong again. And the whole world can cheer for that because, in fact, this is for you, the people. But let's actually go back, rewind to over a year ago to hear this, because this I thought was quite comical, and I definitely remember this, quite well to what occurred. And you have all these different individuals, doing a little slip and jab, and even Drew there in the chat. He actually was. There was a message I should have screenshotted, but I didn't. But he was like, well, why don't you just call into the show and prove me wrong, blah, blah, blah. So he was having a little conniption as well. So, and remember that, the diner here goes after everyone. So let's hear this.
Like a gray hair and fucking child smelling his pubes.
Oh,
Hey, whoever the fuck muted me, you can fucking suck my cock.
I muted
Fuck
you.
you.
I muted you. I muted you, Bullfrog. Bullfrog, I muted you. I muted you.
Why? I didn't do anything.
No, it was just too many people talking. I figured you had enough time. I
Oh,
put you on a little
okay.
mute. That's all.
You need to get
I was about to unleash hell on some.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, yeah. If Rose had come in here, I would have muted a few other people. If someone else came in, I would have muted. You know, people get
Well, I
muted.
was about to unleash hell on somebody.
You'll be all right. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
I'm surprised he didn't even try to come in though.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised. No, he doesn't like. He's kind of he's riding with the other. He's riding with the evil.
He's riding with the evil. Now, I don't know if we have Ken in the chat just as of yet, but that's who he's referring to. Because I was working with Ken as well at that point, but I'm riding with the evil. Let's hear that again.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
I'm surprised he didn't even try to come in though.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised. No, he doesn't like. He's kind of he's riding with.
I love how he just can't even finish his own sentence. We're going to have to rewind that. Sorry, there's too much in this. But I like order. I like structure. And when it comes to shows like this, that is definitely productive in allowing everyone to share their opinion and not sounding like a whole hot mess. Now, before we continue, I'm going to count how many people are in this particular call. Now, Dave Rose is overreacting, right? But let's count how many people. Actually, it even tells me. I don't even have to count them. 10 people in this JCS Live chat. 10 people in that call. Good luck even getting one word into that sort of thing. But let's continue.
Unleash hell on somebody.
You'll be all right. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
I'm surprised he didn't even try to come in though.
I'm surprised. No, he doesn't.
That's okay, Drew. Drew in the chat. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Foulmouth Ken, King of New York. Glad you're here, brother. Derailed says, I didn't realize at that time that you didn't take bait like that. Well, listen, son, I'm an experienced angler, and I know my thing, son. So, please respect your elders. But let's continue.
Like he's kind of he's riding with the other. He's riding with the evil.
Again,
he didn't even try to come in though.
I'm surprised. No, he.
Of course, I don't try to come in. This dispels it, like so many narratives right here. Like Jesse just fucking saying this. Oh, he just doesn't come in. What was this about? The legend of Dave and the strong arm? What was this about? Dave forcing and bullying and scaring people? But now we have a revelation of someone who I worked with for quite some time. Dave doesn't just come in. Oh. So Dave is not the villain that you painted him out to be? Oh. Just as surprising that it should be to Joe. For his simple mind, but the fact that all this fraud actually occurred. He was denied during this entire fucking stream. This is an 8-hour, 22-minute stream. It took me over an hour to find where I was. But I did it for you, the people. But let's be honest here. Let's continue.
He doesn't like, he's kind of
He doesn't like, having to yell over other people. I hate to yell, period. I hate to yell. I like to talk normal. And I don't like to even raise my voice. But also, I don't like to repeat things. And I also like to have a nice discourse. So I'll shut my mouth when I'm speaking to somebody sometimes. And, allow for the conversation to flow. So.
He didn't even try to come in though.
I'm surprised. No, he doesn't like, he's kind of
He's kind of a. Okay, so this is number 2 now. He's kind of a. Can you tell me what a kind of a that I am? A kind of a fuck, kind of a bitch, kind of a fucking asshole, kind of a prick, kind of a genius, kind of a moron, kind of a what? Kind of a? Could be a kind of a. But can you at least finish your sentence? I mean, I remember in grade school where the teacher would emphasize this aspect. And I'm talking like early grade school, like kindergarten, first, second grade at most. I don't remember hearing it afterwards, but well, maybe into third grade. But the whole like, well, hold on, stop, finish your sentence first. Or just take a moment, think about what you want to say. It's okay. Take some time. Think about what you want to say, and then say the entire thing. I remember this as a kid, where, there were some kids that apparently couldn't formulate a complete sentence. And this, method of enforcement was applied.
He's riding with the other. He's riding with the evil.
You hear that, Kenny boy? You hear that, Kenny boy? I'm riding with the evil. Rest in evil.
This just in Arizona, a 1% more has been reported, and Donald Trump has taken a 1.2% swing from.
Isn't this so great knowing that, like, and I knew this from the get-go, but now it's just fucking, it's factual, it's hard, it's evidence, it can't be disputed. But Arizona got fucking totally, what's the best word? Not hoaxed, but, they were stolen. The whole election in Arizona was stolen. The evidence is now out. And, I had said this. I'd also warned prior to this that shit like this was going to occur. And you got not filthy. What am I saying? You got Nerdy, who's mentioning this. And when was the last time you heard of Nerdy being on Joe's show?
From 44% to 4.
You're like measuring dick millimeters at this point.
Dude, Joe Biden's losing this slowly but surely.
Yeah, millimeter by millimeter.
Hey, for that. Inch by inch, I guess.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, 1% at a time. Hey, that's all it takes. When
Trump's going to get Florida, right?
Left.
If Trump's going to get Florida, and that's not even counted yet.
To be fair, though, there's 100
Florida's
million
98%
ballots not counted yet.
Not in Arizona.
Right, but spread it out
It's 98% reported, though, not counted, right?
There's
Isn't
no
that how it works?
near-death experience. That's all. It's like.
Well, to be fair, Joe, it's not counted as long as you're not one of those retards that watches Fox News.
I definitely don't. No, I don't watch Fox or CNN.
Also, one of the individuals on this call, his name is, or he goes by the name of Sense of Morality. He claims to be Canadian, and he's probably one of the lamest Canadians that you would ever fucking meet. He's just so fucking ignorant. He's so fucking stupid, and he's a dick sucker.
CNN. Well, okay, I'm watching CNN for their coverage because they, I think, do the best with the maps and the flips and the numbers they put up. And
admitting to watching CNN is probably, I don't know. I can't personally figure out what's more embarrassing. Like what? I can't fathom. I can't fathom what would be more embarrassing than, first of all, watching CNN, and now you're admitting to watching CNN. That's sort of like, I'd have to say, sort of like somebody proudly claiming that they are a cuck. Like, yeah, I watched my wife get fucked by another man. That, first of all, it's decrepit and disgusting, degenerate, but it's also quite explanatory towards your philosophy in life. Ugh.
Interested in it, but
Joe, you're kidding, right?
But all the numbers are wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, all right.
Oh, so you just go for somebody who makes beautiful, beautiful maps. Well, I can make you some beautiful maps if you'd like. They look nice. I take in topography into account, for example. Well, obviously, I know land navigation quite well. And, not going to go toot my own horn, but toot fucking toot. Let's continue.
You might, yeah.
No, but
Wait. Dave, what if we muted everybody and it was just me, Drew, Jake, and you? Then are you still, like, going to come up with another reason? Come on, you fuck. This is like we should all be fucking partying.
Partying as a literal coup occurs on your country? No. There was several foreign observers in your audience, Joe, including myself, that were observing this literal coup that was occurring. Remember the, what was it called? What were they trying to claim what happened in Florida was the sub. What was it? You know, they're trying to play around with words, but hold on. There's so much here that I've got to fucking unpack. Okay, maybe this should be called Dave's Freight Warehouse. Maybe I should just start doing a new show called Dave's Drama Freight Warehouse, where we have to unpack everything and actually provide, the whole, the whole story, from the beginning, as well as, the current situation. Oh my God, I can't remember what the fuck it was called. Okay, I remember now. The insurgency. It's so ludicrous. It's so ludicrous to think that what happened on, January 6th was an insurgency, that it left my mind. That concept, what it was, it was an FBI operation. There's already evidence of that. And there was also people there that were caught unfairly, people who just literally went through the fucking town. They were just there on business or something, and then they got visits from the FBI because their phone was tracked by all the different illegal systems that were going on. So the insurgency is what I was trying to refer to. Let's continue here. Shout out to Clam Baked. Probably the most, maybe you should start to call yourself Clam Based, because literally you seem to be the only straight male and based individual in all of Massachusetts, which is at least the city of Boston, which is a scary thing, but you could make that city your kingdom. So perhaps next time it'll be Clam Based. Let's continue. So actually, before we continue, I want to refocus my thoughts here. We've got Jesse saying that I'm going to make another excuse. Let's actually rewind to provide the proper context.
The numbers are wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, all right. You might, yeah.
No, but
wait. Dave, what if we muted everybody and it was just me, Drew?
One thing I want to address to this, because we got to unpack this here at the terminal, the freight terminal, is it was never about like, oh, we got to mute these people and stuff. It's just that you can't operate, and I've said this for how many years, you can't operate a show. He's got how many at this point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's still substantial, especially with the individuals, that you can't run a show with that. So I might try to come in and try to, and me, I've got to be long-winded only because I've got to give the proper answer. I'm not going to be fucking just to give a quick 5-second response and expect people, A, to have the background necessary to understand it, but to actually, make a valid point. You can't do that. It always blows my mind that some people are so simplistic in their thinking, where they think that you should just be able to respond to them in 5 seconds and everything gets resolved, as opposed to saying, well, we got to look at the context, we got to look at the history, we got to look at all. No, that's too much, or oh no, you just think you're smart and stuff. And it blows my mind that that's where we are right now. So I want to address that. I got a lot of activity in the chat here. That is a very great point, Festlove. If Dr. Earl gets a guest spot on Pack It, actually that might be a good title. He would ask what it's in it. Actually, that would probably have to be the motto of the show, because if you're going to unpack it, you want to know what it's in it. So, yes, I'll have to talk to my lawyers and my media crew and see if we can develop something from that. I also have other ideas. Again, it is the drama that draws me towards it. I must do my duty. But if it was up to me, I'd be talking space and conspiracies all day long. If I had the time to do that, which I don't. But Yeah, I am thinking of other shows and such. Uh, Again, Talking Space. I think I might make a show called Talking Space. So, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. There are certain individuals out there that are trying to make a big deal. But first of all, I'm not even going to give you your 5 seconds of fame. Don't worry about it, son. But I got better things to do. And, well, there's not much drama going on in... Well, actually, I can't really say that. There is drama going on, but I only want to serve you, the great people, with the finest of drama. Why would I just bring in shitty shit into this great place and expose it to you? No, not at all. I want to bring you good stuff. Now, if you're still hungry, well, I can keep producing food for you. We have the supplies necessary. So I can order some of these components that are available fresh, but I have not chosen necessarily to provide them to you people. But it is the people that decide. So, back to what's going on here. I want to go back to the chat before we get back to this clip here. We got Jay Diz says, I had a shit ton to bring in the house, so catching up sounds like the lack of election coverage on JCS from 2020. This is what it is. Goon says, where were you, Dave, earlier today driving for 7 hours when I needed you the most? Well, I did try to actually... to be honest, I did try to start earlier, but trying to track down the stuff because I might be a 50-year-old man, according to whoever's making up the new lies, but I have some good memory. So I remember this specific portion that we're reviewing with Jesse, right? And there's going to be more. There's still substantial more. But I remember this and, almost word for word, but I remembered enough that I thought, this would be appropriate to play on the belated anniversary of me proving multiple people wrong, including Luke Rojas, that I wasn't going to return to Joe, that I'd completed and retired from my final sail away. And I remain the reigning 12-time sail away champion of the JCS community. Let's be honest. Plus, holder of 2 Emmys, or Hemis. First Foulmouth Nation champion and first Drama Emperor. So I got quite a few accomplishments under my belt. But let me just actually add this here. I do apologize. I was hoping to do that earlier. And again, I always like to show my gratitude and appreciation for all those that are here, as well as all those that help me out with a donation. So thanks to you people. Your little banner is going to show up in a moment here for me. But let's continue. We got Bam in the chat now. Shout out to you. Shout out to Johnny Sinister. Says, Bam says, Dave was too busy watching the Rittenhouse case. I had to actually turn it off. The prosecution is a bunch of fucking morons. I've got a few clips that we're going to play. Shout out to Derailed News and Podcast. Check him out on his YouTube channel. Who provided them to me, which just beautiful. Like the guy, and there's actually a petition right now for, I think his name is Huber. No, that was, I believe, a witness. There is a lawyer right now that he's not the big fat madman. He is the skinny, punch me in the face, Dick Van Dyke, or the Van Dyke, goatee, spiky-haired looking fuck. There's a petition to have him disbarred because he's so fucking stupid. And that the way that he's presenting this, because there is prejudice that's being displayed in this case. There's a petition right now going on to have him disbarred because he should not be practicing law. So yeah, I had to cut it off short. At some points, I was actually sort of raising my voice towards the stream in regards to actually objecting, either as a witness, not as a witness, but as the as the witness on the stand, Kyle, or as the defense attorney, about how fallacious his arguments were, how they were trying to lead the witness. There was so much. And we're going to get to that. So let's not forget Dave Rose getting heated and speaking back towards the stream. Okay, so speaking back towards the stream. Keep it in mind. Let's go back to this clip here.
Drew, Jake, and you. Then Dave, what if we muted everybody and it was just me, Drew, Jake, and you? Then would
another thing I got to bring up is, was this a hangout show or an actual fucking political discussion show? The way it was made out to me was it was going to be a political discussion show, and that it would be cycling through people. There'd be some, and I believe I was busy this night or something, which is why I didn't sign up to be part of the initial crew. But my understanding was going to be initial crew and then cycling through callers, and not just do the typical standard formula of just, let's just keep adding them on there. Let's just keep bringing people on and make this call into a super fucking, conversation where everyone's talking over each other. So that was my understanding, and I don't understand, Will Tactics, why there would be so many people on there. And if you want my, advice or opinion or whatever on the situation, just as I've done with other shows, why would I come onto a show where I'm going to have to start to yell and stuff, compete over each other? Like, the whole thing that was told to me is we're cycling through people, and I totally expected to be cycled through, to actually go, regardless if I'd been co-host on other shows and stuff, is that I didn't sign up to be part, like a co-host of that show. And I told you I'd be willing to call in, but I had other things going on that night. And as such, I was, under the in the understanding that it was going to be just cycling through people. I'd call, people would call in, they'd get removed. I'd call in, I'd get removed. And it would keep to a proper discussion as well is that this was an important topic. This wasn't again, was it a hangout joke type show, or was it something serious? Because again, Joe, you made 4 election episodes after this, or 3, I believe, so a total of 4, but one after the other, day after day after day, because obviously, the confusion of trying to cover up all the crimes, led to a lot of speculation and stuff. But let's continue.
Are you still gonna come up with another reason? Come on, you fuck. This is we should all be fucking partying.
We got Runoff.
No, he doesn't like anyone on the call tonight. He thinks we're all idiots. You haven't seen
Yeah, we're all
You hear that, Drew? Let's hear that again. Actually, can we make this slower? Yeah. Let's hear. Oh yeah. Let's hear Drew talking a little slower. Yeah. Come on.
Dave, what if we muted everybody and it was just me, Drew, Jake, and you? Then are you still gonna come up with another reason? Come on, you fuck. This is we should all be fucking partying.
We got Runoff.
No, he doesn't like anyone on the call tonight. He thinks we're all idiots. You haven't seen.
Yeah, we're.
I can't make out that last part. So, Drew, you're saying that I don't like anyone on that call, and it actually sounds like you when you're drunk on your stream. Yeah, but I didn't catch the last part. Maybe somebody could have heard it better than I did. But yeah, let's go back to normal speed, or 1.25.
Fucking partying.
We got Runoff.
No, he doesn't like anyone on the call tonight. He thinks we're all idiots. You haven't seen.
Yeah, we're all B team or C team, and we've.
Actually, I should have been in normal speed, but regardless, C team and B team, I did make a point of that. But
we've been able to have enough of a conversation. I've been sitting back.
You've had a bunch of retards, Jake. You've had a bunch of retards talk about shit they don't know. You got somebody who's leading the conversation, Joe Cronin, who didn't even bother to vote in the prior 2 elections. So, no, you can't really talk about that at all. Let me just go back to the chat. A lot of activity here. Shout out to the 47 viewers. Oh, we have a synchronistic 11 thumbs up, 11 thumbs down. Also, just as a side note, YouTube just announced today is that they're going to actually start making the thumbs down count private. This is obviously to protect Joe Biden. But I find it quite comical because even then, like the button's going to stay there, but the count is going to disappear, which I find ridiculous. Either you take out the fucking thumb and just make it a fucking echo chamber and everyone gets, oh, thumbs up, oh, that's great. Or you show the fucking number of thumbs down. I got no problem with having thumbs down on my channel. But that's so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Let's leave the thumb down, but take away the numbers so that nobody sees them publicly. Well, then what's the fucking point? Well, we know what the point is to protect, Biden and the White House videos and such, as well as for more leftists. Let's see here. Derailed says, I think I said that you didn't like anyone because we were all idiots. Well, who got proven correct in the end there, Drew? Mr. Consistent? I think so. Derailed says, thumbs down should never be hidden. They already hide it from the creators on the YouTube studio. Yes, it's fucking stupid. I would rather see it, and at least people in that way can make their opinion known, even if they're banned from the chat and or the comment section. Shout out to Sith Negan in the chat. Says, you always get a thumbs up from me. Well, thank you very much. But, I always encourage people to write their comments and, share it with the world. Now, we got a little bit more here to go. We got this back to normal speed.
It is all
so Jake is talking.
Like anyone on the call tonight. He thinks we're all idiots. You haven't seen it.
Yeah, we're all
You're correct. I heard it, Drew. It is he thinks we're all idiots. So good call.
Team or C team, and we've been able to have enough of a conversation. I've been sitting back. I
don't think we need
Speak for yourself, faggots. I'm on A team.
Now, let me say this. It's quite challenging for me to try to distinguish all the different conversations that are going on right now, but what the fuck does Dave knows in regards to having too many people on the call, right? Well, here's a perfect fucking example. I can't even figure out who's saying what.
Joe.
What the fuck?
Even Joe laughed at that one, Dirty. I'm sorry. You hung yourself out to dry.
Kids a faggot.
Also, people, I forgot to mention, this is a nice little spicy. I'm going to give you guys a little spicy drop into your food here. Little spicy drop. It's extremely spicy. But going back, watching this, well, I was extremely active in the chat, I can assure you. But what do I find here? Looks like I've been banned from the chat of the corrupted channel. So, you ban somebody today, your older videos are going to show that person is banned. And you can see all these people that are getting fucking butt hurt by what I'm saying in the chat, responding to me, but I can't find my name at all. Interesting.
I'll suck on you.
I'll suck you up.
That's my job.
No.
You can have 3 kids and still be gay. I mean,
you're laid off, Bullfrog.
Look at our glorious
Thank you,
leader.
Jake. Thank you. Exactly. Look at our glorious leader.
Joe's
who's
got 3 kids.
Who's actually got
about as
6
gay
kids.
As they come, but
Well, to be fair, he did used to hit on me back in the day.
CNN just talked about a huge blue boost. They're saying
yeah,
blue,
just change the subject, Joe. Change the subject.
huge blue boost.
And what? The fucking moon is changing.
It looks like Biden's getting California.
Yeah, they gave it to him
shoot
right
me
away.
now.
Yeah, and this just in, water is wet.
Well, he
Your
offered
water's
to mute
wet.
people, and people offered to shut up. I said I'd stand down so Dave can talk. But
Water is
Come
watering.
on, Dave. Just
Here we go. Well, here's Firebird in the chat. Well, in this video's chat that I'm reviewing. Referring to me. That's a shame. I was really looking forward to hearing from you. At this point, I'd already said I'm not coming on because there's too many people. You know, Mr. Consistent. Also recognizing how that is good for a show. Conducive, positive, productive.
saying.
Water
Dave
is
comes in,
watering.
I'll mute.
Bring a fact or two. Without any sources, though.
I don't think he's got
The
a
show doesn't need.
All right, a little bit more spice. Shall I add a little more drop in your soup bowl there, patrons? Let's go back a little bit and listen. This is the problem with so many people. It's difficult to make out a few things. But when you wish upon a star, doesn't matter who you are.
Come on, Dave. Just saying.
Water is water.
Also, these people are just so desperate to have me on. Why? Why would you be so desperate to have me on? I mean, what? Do I know what I'm talking about? Oh, I do? Maybe? Possibly. Then, well, might be, I don't know, a little bit valid for me to state that, first, the agreement wasn't met, which was to cycle people through. But more importantly is that I logically see there's too many people on the call. Even if I start to talk about my stuff, a lot of these people don't have self-control, and they're going to start jumping on me. And that was not my interest. I wanted to speak my thing and then get off. But I knew, because we all know what happens when you expose yourself to a bunch of people that have no self-control. They're all going to try to start piling over you. And on top of that, it's just going to make for bad radio. Let's continue.
Watering.
I'll mute.
Bring a fact or two. Without any sources, though.
But that's the thing, though. And unfortunately, I do say that too often, so it's going to have to go on a shirt. So, Ken, you're going to have to take care of that. I'm already waiting for that other shirt. Can't remember what it was. One of my typical sayings. But without a source or two, like, let's rewind and go back to the past where I would present information factually and I'd get laughed at on this show. But I always try to cite my sources, and in fact, I'm always telling other people to do exactly that. So, is this a jab towards me? Is this just truly, a lack of self-awareness that makes you think that I don't do this, but you do?
I don't think he's got
The
a
show doesn't need.
Okay, so now we got to get to that. Joe is saying, I don't think he has any. That's what I catch. Maybe you guys can catch it somewhat different, but let's hear that. Actually, before we do, shout out to Ken, who's quite active in the chat. Let's see here. Ken says he's going live tonight. Woo! Yes! Get a little fucking Kenny Boy, King of New York going. And Ken also says, yeah, I hear you, Dave. He's like, let's bring 10 people on who know nothing about politics. Dude, I found that so often on the show. And it was annoying because I would have no problem even speaking to people that were, like, for example, even Leah. And Leah, I claim, and the evidence is there, but I claim that she's ignorant, and she's extremely biased in leftist views. But I'm willing to debate her in a proper manner, not raise my voice, because I don't like to raise my voice, present simple facts, and even if it comes to, like, well, agree to disagree, I'm capable of doing that. The evidence is outstanding. But even with just suggesting to Joe that he debate me on things, of political nature, socio-political, economical, racial, just cannot bring himself to do so. Let's continue.
Fact or two. Without any sources, though.
I don't think he's got
The
a
show doesn't need Dave.
Okay, so Joe says he doesn't think I have them. Well, is that why you've featured me on Final Frontier News for so long and expected me to do all the necessary footwork and research into the topic, present you with everything, and then essentially just lead the show by the nose? I mean, just listen back to those later shows. Actually, most of the shows that I was on, it was like that. I was the one that was aware, and Joe is more of the clueless radio host asking questions of the expert. It's as simple as that. Let's not fucking delude ourselves here.
We've got the conservative right here.
We're here where? Like, I mean, your face is on a milk box right now there, nerdy. Like...
Sorry, Dave. If you don't want, if you're gonna sit there and bitch in the chat, then don't fucking bitch about not coming on.
I'm gonna bitch in the chat, so I shouldn't bitch from not coming on. That was never the case. And if Joe hadn't banned me, I would actually be able to quote my statements. But good for you, Joe. Blocking the narrative, slipping the jab. It's all good. But I do have almost, and I've talked about this in the past, almost total recall. So I can bring up memories, facts, and images in my mind quite easily. So I remember this quite well. And I remember Nerdy here saying this. And I love it. This didn't age well now, did it, people? It didn't age well at all. But this whole attempt... Because, let's be honest, again, I've always been considered the conservative or the extremist of the JCS community. Now, Mr. Consistent always comes out on top and got proven correct. So, there's always a turnover, especially in this sort of thing, and a lot of people realize that I was correct. But there are people that continue to double down, or because... Nerdy came at me from the get-go, probably like now with a little foresight. Probably came at me to try to take my spot as the conservative person and stuff. But I wouldn't necessarily, he has conservative views, but I'm the one who's the extremist supposedly. Although you could better call me a traditionalist, but I think that's probably where that came from and stuff. And I do agree with some of his political stances, and always found it quite comical as to why he decided to just start attacking me. But now looking back, especially since he's gone, it makes a lot of sense that he would do that sort of thing. I guess chasing the clout would be the best way to define it. Let's continue. By the way, this is 3 hours and 26 minutes into the video.
That's why I'm scared of shit, because I want him to come on.
Okay, let's rewind, because I want to hear exactly what Jesse says, because Jesse is an agent of chaos, and he likes to see people either suffer or to have conflict. It takes away from the pain that he experiences every day, and I don't agree with that. But that's who Jesse is. Let's just be honest. He can play hippie all he wants. LARP is a fucking healer, but we know that his hate and anger is what fuels his actions.
Right here. Sorry, Dave. If you don't want, if you're gonna sit there and bitch in the chat, then don't fucking bitch about not coming on. Jesus.
That's why I'm scared of shit, because I want him to come on. He'll come
not...
on under certain circumstances. I'm like, okay, well, let's give him the circumstances.
He's either a crybaby or it's not him.
No, but that's the thing. You knew it was me. You knew it was me. And also, since I'm banned from that, you know it's me. I believe at this point also I may have been messaging Joe on Skype in the background to tell him it was me, or that I wasn't going to go on and stuff. So this is quite duplicitous in this manner. But there's a few things here that we some of these bags here, people, at this terminal, some of these bags are just so full of stuff. We got to keep unpacking them. There's hidden compartments. So let's go back again.
That's why I'm scared of shit, because I want him to come on. And
So you're admitting that you just want to cause some chaos.
Come on under certain circumstances. I'm like,
under certain circumstances, a circumstance of respect, of treating everyone equal and allowing people to speak without getting interrupted or yelled over by 5 different people, something like that there, Jesse?
Okay, well, let's give him the circumstance.
He's a cry. He's either a cry.
So I'm a cryberry. Apparently I'm a cryberry. That sounds like a salty type of berry, actually. But I'm a crybaby. Crybaby for expecting simple standards? I mean, this is not the first time that I had insisted, because it came from initially suggesting to then asking to then informing and then suggesting that there's no need to have so many people on the call. You can cycle them through, especially if you're using Discord, which is what he was using at this point. And I think he still uses it. But that actually is a little more convenient than Skype, because you can cycle through people. But listen to this fucking well, it's not delusion, because he knows exactly what he's doing. This is I would say character assassination. But let's actually go back a little bit. Sorry that I'm a little bit like a Tony today, where I'm replaying a few clips over and over again. But that's the problem, though. That's the problem, is that there's too many people talking. So it's hard to make out what each person is saying, and they must each all be addressed by your first drama emperor. But Tony does make his he'll review one person talking, who might be talking for say 10 seconds, and he'll review that 5 times. I don't do that. Let's continue.
About not coming on.
That's why I'm scared of shit, because I want him to come on.
He'll
come on under certain circumstances. I'm like, okay, well, let's give him the circumstance.
He's He's either a crybaby or it's not him. It's one of the two.
We didn't. No, that happened earlier. That's right.
Yeah, it might not have been him.
It sounds more like him now than it did earlier.
Yeah.
I text Dave. He said he's not coming on with a bunch of people.
That's what this one keeps saying.
Mr. Consistent. Mr. Consistent. Somebody's got to write a song for me called Mr. Consistent. Maybe perhaps in the key of the Candyman. But there's Cody Mastro, who not sure if that's the real one, but he's a guy that did donate quite a lot to Joe, just like Nerdy did. And then poof, disappeared. Relegated. Let's continue.
And over here now.
Okay, well, I mean, if he comes on, I'll mute people, but I'm not gonna get rid of people and then he doesn't come on. So
that wasn't the agreement, Joey boy. Joey Jojo Junior Shabadoo. That wasn't the agreement. The agreement was this was going to be an actual professional show, something that would take actual respect of the topic, and that would include cycling through callers. You would have a core group of people, obviously, Jake, Drew, you, and Jesse. And everyone else would be cycled through, including myself, who I had told you I would not be available to be a host for that show. But I'd be willing to call in, utilizing what you had proposed, so as to give my opinion, and then let somebody else fucking go on. That alone destroys this whole narrative of Dave Rose being this big egotistical piece of shit, but.
So
Yeah, exactly. But,
Yeah, I mean-
but a bunch of us just offered to mute ourselves. And,
I
don't
don't
even
mute.
care,
I don't
bro.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll mute.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. Hey, people in the chat. People in the chat. I love you all. People in the chat. Can you maybe, as I am about to replace, can you maybe try to point out exactly what I'm trying to ridicule right now? Because the irony here, the hypocrisy is fucking great. I'm going to play it again for you people. I'd love if you just pound the shit out of the fucking chat right now and tell me exactly what it is I'm referring to.
Coming on with a bunch of people.
That's
so-
what, and that's what this one keeps saying over here now.
okay,
At
well,
least-
I mean, if he comes on, I'll mute people, but I'm not gonna get rid of people, and then he doesn't come on. So
yeah, exactly. But,
Yeah, I mean-
but a bunch of us just offered to mute ourselves. And,
I don't
I'll
even
care,
I
bro.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll
mute.
talk, yeah, and I'll talk the fuck over you, Dave. You better come on.
Yeah, you tell him,
Canadian ass
Jess.
in here, and I'll mute myself.
I don't even-
Yeah, I'll
he's-
mute. I don't care.
Tell him to stop being a baby.
Yeah.
If he
Wait a
came
minute,
on,
what's
I'd
that?
Okay, did you hear that? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pull a Tony here. Play it again. But shout out to the real Cody Mastro in the chat, who has now been provided a nice shiny wrench to identify him from all the fakes. So there we go. The real Cody Mastro.
I'm not gonna get rid of people, and then he doesn't come on. Okay,
At
well,
least-
I mean, if he comes on, I'll mute people, but I'm not gonna get rid of people, and then he doesn't come on. So
Yeah, exactly. But,
Yeah, I mean-
but a bunch of us just offered to mute ourselves. And,
That's also putting the cart before the horse, where you say, I'm not gonna get rid of people and he doesn't come on. But wasn't that the whole agreement, is that you get rid of them so that there's a limited number of people on there so that I do come on? Because if that, look, you want me to come to your house party? Dude, I can't even get through the fucking door. There's too many people. Now you're gonna kick some people out so you can let me in? Or are you just gonna fucking hope that I squeeze through the people? I'm not gonna fucking squeeze through those greasy, sweaty people. No. Either you kick those fuckers out, or I'm not coming in. Is this a dumbed down enough analogy for you there, Joey? Is this enough? Like, honestly, every time I try to do this, to try to create an analogy that's quite below me, I think I'm suffering some sort of either mental episode or perhaps some possible mental brain damage. Now, thankfully, my brain has the ability to regenerate itself, even when exposed to the most disgusting, dirty, stupid people in this community. And thank God that I do have that ability. Because if not that, I'd be a fucking, wasted husk from the shit that I've had to deal with. And you can see that ability. It's basically a superpower. Who else can fucking sit on a call with Bullfrog for so long and not go into a seizure? I got some sort of superpower. Maybe I'm not, up for the Avengers, but maybe I can get a gig job at the Defenders, or I wouldn't want to go with the Externals. Apparently they're quite woke, but some sort of little small, superhero company. But before I continue, let's go back to the chat. Shout out to Out with Cows. Yeah, let's continue.
I don't even care,
I don't
bro.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll mute.
You do care. See, this is where I was calling the shit out in the chat, where you're gonna have Joe saying, "I don't care about the," like, you do care. You guys were, all of you were fucking chiding me to get on the call, and then, and I believe there's a line where it's like, "Oh, we tried to roll out the red carpet for you, still won't come on," but it's ridiculous, to be quite honest.
Exactly. But,
Yeah, I mean-
but a bunch of us just offered.
Again, the irony as well is you're all talking shit about me, but we can't really distinguish or make any of you out because there's too many people on the call. Oh my God, Dave Rose was right again. Oh my God. So even when you're trying to shit on me, you can't even do it properly because you got way too many people on the call. But what the fuck do I know?
Offered to mute ourselves. And,
I
don't
don't
even care,
I
bro.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll mute.
And I'll talk the fuck over you, Dave. You better come on.
Which would, again, be another reason why I wouldn't come on. You want my opinion? I'll give it to you, no problem. You want to fucking put me in a situation where I'm getting constantly talked over and disrespected? Well, I'm not a victim. And I choose to not be part of that situation. Now, if you are the victim, if you are the pussy, if you can't stand the fact that some people actually show some backbone, well, then your reactions to my stances make a lot of sense now, don't they?
Yeah, you tell him, Jesse.
In here, and I'll mute myself.
You tell him, Jesse. Let's hear that again. You tell him, Jesse. Like, I would expect that from someone who lives on a farm. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Farms feed cities. But you seem so simplistic there, nerdy. It is comical. But then again, you know, I've been seeing your face on the milk carton, so either Joe got to you or you're, you know, maybe a Mexican human trafficker. I don't know.
Go over you, Dave. You better come up.
Yeah, you tell him, Jesse.
In here, and I'll mute myself.
Yeah, I'll mute. I don't care.
Tell him to stop being a baby.
Stop being a baby and come on a show where literally while we're shitting on you, nobody can get a word out. You can't even understand what's going on. But stop being a baby, right, Dave? Stop being a baby that, you know, you have the idea of actually professionalism, of just, well, knowledge of what you're dealing with. So knowing the situation, 10 people on the call, and knowing that there really is no control over the situation, that they would be talked over if they were actually in that situation. So why even put themselves into that situation? It's fucking ridiculous. But no, I'm the villain, apparently. I'm the villain. Not yet. Tactics attacks. Dave Rose did not snape a chone on anyone just yet. But that might be in order. Let's continue to listen to this ridiculousness.
Yeah.
If he came on, I'd mute people.
Okay, I'll text him.
He came on and I mute people, but then, well, first of all, he keeps ignoring the fact that the whole agreement was it was going to be a cycle-through show. You got the core co-hosts, and then you got the callers. And then we continue to cycle through. And that included myself, a co-host of other shows. Now, where's the logic in that? If I was so egotistical, if I was so obsessed, if I was such a crybaby, wouldn't I want to take over the entire show, make it all about me? Well, that's logic. But we didn't even get that now, did we? All those people that shorted Dave Rose in these stocks, they lost it all. Because they clearly didn't see that I was going to hold my ground.
One more time.
All right, there's enough Discord in your fucking country already. Let's all just chill the fuck out.
Text them your dick. Text them your dick, Bullfrog.
Such fucking passive, like, I'm not coming on shit before ever. What is
No one said you were
passive stuff. Passive? You mean taking a stand? What? When? First of all, is Dave Rose going to have to slap a bitch? And second, when has Dave Rose looked passive? Of all things, passive. Dave Rose? Look, I get told that I'm too aggressive, that I'm overwhelming, that I'm too much. But I've never been called passive. Well, obviously, you know, there was this, but I mean, I can't find another example where I was called passive. Some people think I'm too high-strung, too emotional, too dramatic. But seriously? Okay, let's continue.
were bitching about not coming on.
Text
Hold on.
his dick.
Chat.
You're not getting away with this, Jake. Let's go back a bit so we can hear your... Because, again, I was totally wrong about all these people that are talking over each other, and yet, as I'm doing right now, trying to review you, I can't even make out heads for tails. So, let's try yet again.
Text them your dick. Text them your dick, Bullfrog.
Such fucking passive, like, I'm not coming on shit before ever. What is...
No one said you were bitching about not coming on.
Text his dick.
Chat.
I remember because I made a video called Joe Cronin, the Eternal Victim. I reviewed this particular portion. Now, this is the most delicious part. Okay, this is very great part of the meal. We have Jesse saying that I'm bitching, and then literally within a second, maybe, we have Jake saying that I'm not bitching. Let us experience this exquisite delicacy presented to only you, patrons of Dave's Drama Diner.
Text them your dick. Text them your dick, Bullfrog.
Such fucking passive,
Okay.
like, I'm not coming on shit before ever. What is
No one said you were bitching about not coming on.
Text
You said you
his
were in
dick.
Chat bitching.
Text them your dick.
Here's
never
the difference.
Jesse was just saying that. Jesse was just saying that. And in fact, I'd have to rewind even further because he actually said exactly that. Stop bitching. I did that on that stream, Joe Cronin, the Eternal Victim, which I streamed on December 5th, 2020. So about a month after this. Dave Rose so emotional. Waited a month to respond. Yeah, okay, bud. But yeah, I remember that very well. Again, almost. I've got almost Total Recall, Maria. Almost Total Recall. It's going to be my next movie. I'm getting old, so I can remember everything, but I got almost Total Recall.
209 to 118 still. Next.
Also, I love some people in the chat. There's this guy, 410 Byron, says, fuck Dave Rose. A few other people in the chat that were saying some things, which I thought quite comical. But, yeah, well, that's his audience.
Next polls close in 26 minutes, Joe. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, you're right.
still no
polls are
reports
about
from
that.
Nevada.
This is like going to not wanting to go piss when you got to go really bad, but there's guys where all the urinals are used up except for one, and you don't go up. You're like, yeah, I don't really have to piss anyway.
Joe, I tagged you in a couple more
That's
fights
what I'm doing right now.
with Antifa.
Okay, cool. I'm enjoying the chaos outside the White House. We're watching that. I really hope we get to see some people sniped. I mean, like, can we, like, this would be...
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, Nevada's taking this whole what stays in Vegas shit a little too far.
How long?
Yeah, they haven't given us their numbers.
How
yet.
long until the right wing people? How long until the right wing people go to Washington to protect it? Like, because that's what's coming next,
That supposed insurrection that was set up by the FBI. That you mean that?
right? They're gonna see all these videos of the Antifa people beating people up, and there's guys right now with their shotguns and stuff heading there. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
That was incorrect. Actually, that never occurred. There was no armed individuals that went to the Capitol. Of the right-leaning variety. There were several that weren't reported by mainstream media, but the reports are there. You just have to look up the police reports that were arrested in Washington on January 6th that were armed. So
Exactly what the Proud Boys.
hold on. Somebody in the chat. No, there's just somebody in Joe's chat saying, I miss Dave Rose on the mic, as you should.
Are. They are the group that goes and protects those people, but they've been labeled racist, white supremacist because the media doesn't actually look at what's going on.
Yeah, they don't.
I see several people in the chat right now that are like, "Oh my God, Biden's about to win this. It's over." And you're forgetting how it's been the last several elections, where the one candidate always takes a definitive lead, and then it comes down to a few final states. And if you look, is leading in that haven't reported out yet. And the ones that Trump is leading in that haven't finalized out yet, Trump wins.
Now they're beating up a brown.
No, I'm not saying that's not how it's going to be.
This is another thing that I could see from the get-go. I'd actually said this from the beginning, is that as soon as he won, I said I noticed all this fraud that was going on, but it was so overwhelming that he got the win. But don't think that this isn't going to happen at, a higher capacity the next time there's an election. So people have to be watching out for this. Now, I might not be a mathematician or a scientist, although you got to question, when there were new universities like Plato, for example, or Aristotle, how did they acquire their knowledge, right? Exactly. So it takes simple knowledge of math to see the numbers that came out that night and realize that a huge fraud was occurring. I saw that from the get-go. I saw that prior to the fact. And even bringing it up in the chat and stuff, people are, doubting it and so forth. And this delusion of not understanding the numbers, it's another reason why Joe was so pro, well, he wasn't pro-Biden, he was anti-Trump and stuff, and thinking that this election had no anomalies whatsoever. And even when spoken to, he dismissed them entirely.
Yeah, but if you're going at this,
is this guy Hispanic?
this perspective, yeah.
Antifa's beating up the Hispanic guy, or what is it? I can't tell what he is, but he's not white.
Probably gave him too high of an estimate on some land.
See, it's always white people. See, the thing is, they're right. It is always white people, but they're the ones.
Dragzilla says Biden's rigging this shit. I don't see how people could say that about.
Well, because you voted for a pedophile, Jake. You voted for a pedophile. You support pedophiles. But you don't know how? Well, I explained it for the past 4 years. This was in 2020, so I explained it in the past 4 years. So I don't understand how that would be so difficult to understand. And then there's, what you could find researching. It was clearly evident. You might not see it, but then does that not mean maybe that you should be denied the vote forevermore because you're so incompetent that you should never be allowed to vote? Because it's very much sounding like that.
Trump too. Neither person's really rigged.
Well, anything. I mean, that's the react.
I don't know if it's really rigged. I saw that a mile away. And, well, what do we got now in 2021? All the evidence that exactly that occurred. Ultimate Warriors here, telling you the truth.
Action people make when they think it's all over.
You got to be
They've
careful.
both done things to rig this in their favor, obviously, but.
I don't think you're naive, Jake. I think you're fucking stupid. And possibly duplicitous, because you see things for the party that you vote for, the Democrats, and you don't call it out.
Saying all that isn't doing the research.
Soundwave is echoing what I said before. Biden needs the mail-in ballots.
Never do this. Can I tell you guys, never.
Mail-in ballots? No, but there's no chance there could be fraud from that.
Never do this. When someone's in your face like this, never do this. Look at this guy thing. Because what you're doing right here, this guy's locked in on you and you're looking away.
Shut the fuck up, Mr. Close Quarters Combat Expert. Shut the fuck up.
That's where you get sucker punched in the teeth right there. And you lose all your teeth. Never do this. Never look away.
Stabbed or shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, that's indicative of an incoming punch.
Actually find a way to distract them from looking at you.
Never do this.
How many fights have you been in, Joe? I've seen this so many. Like, they look off like, oh, like, who's this guy? Who's this guy think he is? And then they try to come in with a blow. It's like, are you fucking stupid? You don't think I don't see you trying to wind up? Like, fucking retarded.
I don't know, but I blame all of you for no longer sobriety.
Yeah, now Jesse's going to get drunk. It's our fault.
I'm here because I love you and Joe, goddammit.
Matt, your balls have dropped extra since we last spoke to you, goddammit.
Have they?
It's the liquor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, old school Matt was one of our first.
Gives him the courage to go for the plunge.
He's one of our first regular callers back in 2013, 14, 15, back when Tommy C was here.
That's right.
No, I predate Tommy C. I was back during the Tosevich era, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, wait,
Crazy.
that's all the same shit, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, because
there's a brand new Tommy now.
Shut the fuck up. We weren't talking about you.
There's a brand new guy.
Remember, this is over a year ago.
Dunkachino.
Muted them.
Should we start selling out donations to Mute Bullfrog?
Yes.
I've already muted them for free, but I'll be glad to fucking take it.
You tell. Dunkachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Speaking of which, I believe there was a few donations that were directed at me during this show.
Attica, lucky light. This
Jesus
whole
Christ.
trial is out of sight. They pull me back
Please,
with hazelnut.
don't do this.
Actually, for the first time ever on Cronin's show.
Of old school Matt, if only we could find out what mic you're using so we could shove it up our ass.
We should turn this up. Someone shoot up some heroin and he'll drop an omega
Duncan.
I'm not doing anything.
It's like,
Who the fuck?
Oh my God.
Dave? It's like Pluto. It shouldn't be a planet.
Family
The
and
whole album
myself
on
good
that
to
name.
be.
3M in Scotland, right? Our shit bum.
Fucking Olympics.
Give us the next update.
I think there might be one more.
Aiming for the White House.
Pilots are.
Let's have a great. That was.
What that? There's no bomb. I know flying the plane in Boloweedies. Bin Laden, we know you. Told.
Joe, before of
Yeah.
a woman in a wheelchair that says, "I stand with Trump."
Yes.
Oh my!
I saw
And
that.
the comments are great. You know, look at the wonderful comments. You should really stand up for yourself. You know, it's like all the puns are
That's
just.
great.
Oh, that's great. That's
dude,
great
you give
there,
her a-
Jake, fatty.
Right, a pun.
Standing
for her
ovation.
nub, you know,
Right.
I punder nub. Look at
Yeah,
me.
some people are like, "I dare you." I think.
I slay bitches.
Going at it.
Pennsylvania
Sorry.
grows
As
some
a-
Guy
Pennsylvania.
in a wheel- standing on their feet.
Wouldn't stand up,
Look
right?
up. Just look up.
Sit up.
No, that's funny. He went after him. That's cool.
When I saw Disturbed at Ozfest, they had a guy in a wheelchair crowd surf to the stage. And they
Oh,
left it on
did
his
you-
pool.
We got a lot of
We'll all
people.
call you out if you use a phone. Up balcony, you cunt.
Right now, we have 4
Yeah.
states that are leading.
CNN.
All right, so that's the end of that. I think there was a few other jabs thrown out the night, but that was the crux of things that I wanted to cover. Specifically, when it came to this whole like, oh, well, Dave, we'll mute ourselves, but we won't agree to the way that we were going to do this show from the get-go. But I want to also address, and by the way, Skype lines are now open, so if you want to call in. But related somewhat to this is, because this happened November 2020, in August 20th, 2020, is when the Kenosha incident occurred, which is now on trial. And we've seen a lot of information that has actually exonerated Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, if we go back to that time, people, and we remember Dave Rose and what he did and what he said, is that when he went on to Joe's show, regardless of Leah or Joe saying absolute lies, he always had the truth. He knew the truth from the get-go. He presented the truth, got ridiculed for it. And we had Joe separately going on to social media, trying to fucking jump on the narrative. And what was that narrative? Well, that this kid had crossed county lines or state lines with a firearm, which was untrue. It was provided to him by his friend in that state. That he had gone there specifically as a Proud Boy, which he was. And also to try to start shit, which he didn't. And so much that he and Leah were shitting on this guy for. And I was defending him because I was watching it live that night. When it came to, 2015 to 2020, I was watching live streams, multiple live streams at the same time. I was witness to what happened in Boston. And Nikki Nines was there. It's not Nikki Nines, sorry. Nikki T was there. And I was actually giving her information about what was going on and what the media was saying and stuff. She had to be sort of pulled out, by the police in a paddy wagon because you had all these fucking leftists and stuff. So I was giving her updates as to what was going on around there. There's so much that I can talk about in regards to what I've observed for the last 5 years. And when it came to Kenosha, I was watching with every ounce of my energy. Had all these different streams. TikTok, YouTube, fucking... can't remember what the other ones are. Instagram. I was watching it all. I was pulling a Batman. I had my different monitors showing my different streams. And they were all tiled, so I had a nice, good view. I knew exactly what was going on from the get-go. Yes, people like Joe would probably get pissed off with me making that statement, but That's the truth. And, well, when asked about it, I definitely gave my opinion. And I was ridiculed for it. I was, I guess, accused of excusing extreme violence. But now we're here. And yet again, Mr. Consistent shows himself to be who he truly is. Now, that can't be denied. And although there will be some who will be very butthurt about the fact that I'm unrepentant at being correct, well, you shouldn't have criticized me when you knew I knew more. Simple, just how it goes. But that's what we have here. And I have to go into this because Joe has just reestablished his Twitter account. He made it hidden or deleted. I don't know which one would be the best way to describe it, because as of a few days ago, it was this account doesn't exist. But now it's back again. Maybe this is maybe it's like a gimmick, like the bad spelling and stuff. Maybe it's that. So what I wanted to cover is the fact that he now wants to get right into it in regards to what's going on with Kyle Rittenhouse. Well, that's very interesting, but it's also very typical, is that now you're trying to make it look like you're always on the side of truth and justice and that you knew what was going on from the get-go. There's only one person who publicly made that statement. That's me, Dave Rose. Okay? Okay. So, and I got shit on for it. Now you're trying to fucking, as you've done before so many fucking times, pretend like the past didn't happen. So Orwellian. So Orwellian. Pretend the past didn't happen, but no, this is your stance. It's always been your stance. How dare you question that this was never my stance? So now you're questioning the details about the Kyle Rittenhouse account. But you sure as fuck weren't doing that before now. In fact, when somebody like me, your superior, told you the facts, no, you can't do that. You can't insult the Joe Cronin. You can't insult this narrative. And, you know, I got shit on by you and Leah and many other people. But here we stand, a year later. Now, what I'd like to discuss is, since Joe has come back online, he started to, like I said, show this Orwellian mind think. So we've got from 11 hours ago a tweet that says, hold on a second here. So he retweets Ian. I was thinking of the guy from 90210, but Ian Miles Cheong, who is basically just tweeting about how this one individual is providing records to the prosecution. I'll play this right now, actually, so hold on.
Read over your statement. Mention in the room when you met with me and Mr. Binger and Ms. Beasy.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that you were very nervous?
Yeah, absolutely.
You! And we did have you read over your statement, right?
Correct.
And we asked if you knew anything beyond that statement.
Correct.
We didn't ask you to change it.
Yes, you did.
So, obviously the prosecution's a bunch of fucking morons. After this tweet comes something quite juicy. Joe Cronin says, Rittenhouse defended himself. That's why he's not going to be guilty. You didn't say anything like that, asshole. You didn't say anything like that prior. You are truly a fence sitter, Joe Cronin. And the phone lines are open to you if you want to defend yourself. I know you've got me blocked, but I know you listen. But the phone lines are open to you. You can defend yourself all you want. But this is bullshit. Rittenhouse defended himself. That's why he's not going to be guilty. The video proves it, and now the witnesses and prosecutor has added to the fact. LOL, this trial is hilarious. well, you were quite certain that he was guilty and that he was just this white supremacist kid that went into a neighborhood, illegally brought firearms over a state border, and was just there to kill your fucking favorite pets, the blacks. And then he retweets this one from Tyler Cybulski, who says, the mainstream media is being exposed for the frauds that they are in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The defendant, a quotation racist, quotation white supremacist, and quotation white nationalist, offered to defend a car lot owned by these two brothers. And they're just Indian kids or guys. He publishes more footage. For anyone wanting the undeniable, here are some posts I saved back when the incident first occurred. Hope you find it useful. Just a bunch of different information about those that were involved in the shooting, including the domestic abuser that got killed, as well as the convicted pedophile, Rosenbaum. I think that's his name. Yeah. I said that from the get-go, but no, I was the bad guy. Let's continue.
I've never even...
I mean, you have no idea what Mr. Rosenbaum was ever thinking at any point in his life. You have never been inside his head. You never met him before. You don't know.
I've never exchanged words with him, if that's what your question is.
So your interpretation of what he was trying to do or what he was intending to do or anything along those lines is complete guesswork, isn't it?
Well, he said, fuck you, and then he reached for the weapon.
Okay, let's talk about that. I mean, you have no...
I was. Tell us about that. I believe in the Second Amendment.
This is the guy that survived. He came at Kyle Rittenhouse with a pistol, a convicted felon who had... Well, yeah, he was a convicted felon. He had expired concealed carry license. And he approached Rittenhouse with his firearm extended, pointing towards him. And then, he fucked around. He found out. So let's listen.
I'm for people's right to carry and bear arms. And that night was no different than any other day. It's keys, phone, wallet, gun.
Did you have a permit to carry a concealed weapon?
I did.
Was it in effect on August 25th, 2020?
It was not.
So you did not have a permit?
Had it expired?
It had.
And you had not renewed it?
I had not.
So you were basically a criminal by carrying that firearm and intending to use it in a criminal action.
When you were having this medical truck in Milwaukee, did you carry a gun then?
I did.
When you came down here, how did you carry your gun?
I had my handgun holstered in the small of my back.
What type of gun was it?
It was a Gen 4 Glock 27, so it is a smaller framed 40 caliber handgun.
Was it loaded?
It was.
So unlike a 22, you were actually intending to kill your target. Is that correct? Mr. Grossenkreuz. See, this is where we're going to need Danny MT to start to use his diatribes.
Do you recall if there was a round in the chamber?
That night, I don't.
That is the most unsafe fucking firearm owner ever, especially if you ever got a fucking concealed carry. That's so stupid. Joe continues. He even retweets Steven Crowder, he's talked shit about. Steven Crowder says, as Rittenhouse is cleared of all charges, remember that support for him was banned on GoFundMe and Facebook under the guise of him being a mass shooter. I hope he sues them all. Keep that in mind because we're going to hear, again, a copy of these sort of statements. Then we've got a fucking obvious shill, controlled opposition. Jack Posobiec says, if Kyle Rittenhouse isn't self-defense, then nothing is self-defense. So Joe tweeted that. Now, listen. Okay, now we get to a very delicious, beautiful treat, people. And Joe, call in and defend yourself. You should. You should call in and defend yourself. This is the statement that he says 10 hours ago. I would have done a much better prosecuting than this bumbling moron, focusing on if a plastic bag is a reason to murder, sorry, I just went spick there, and other things, and showing the two attackers after the first believed Rittenhouse was an active shooter. Focus only on the first killing, but nope, LOL. What do we have here, people? What do we have here? This is confirmed biased. There we go. You could never be a prosecutor with the statement. If you were prosecuting him and you made this tweet, you'd be, not only would you be immediately removed from the case, you might even be disbarred. Now, let's break it down. Break it down. Break it down. So, what's his immediate choice to do? Is to join the prosecution? First and foremost, let's be honest here, people. Anybody with 2 brain cells and no functioning eyes can still see that Kyle Rittenhouse is totally justified under the law and was actually morally correct. 2 different things, but they stand. Now, who would not want to defend this individual? An individual who not only tried to train as an EMT, but also as a police officer. Somebody who was just so interested in protecting the public good. Something that Joe Cronin probably has never been interested in because, as long as he's in his little gated neighborhood and stuff, let's just include the illegals into Massachusetts. Increase taxes, but hey, as long as I don't have to live around them, I'm being virtuous, aren't I? So his immediate response would be to jump to the prosecution team. Well, first, anybody that is not even part of either of those legal units would immediately be able to tell that that it has to be dismissed. That in fact he is totally innocent of all charges. And anybody that would be put in a position, well, again, anybody of normal mind, put in the position to choose, what do I do? Do I prosecute this guy or do I defend him? They would immediately pick defense. Why? Because they see the facts from the get-go. Now, why? Why would the immediate tweet and response from you, Joe, lines still remain open for you, why? Again, what kind of coward are you, man? What kind of coward are you? You're willing to call into fucking YR streams. You're willing to even call in when he has Ken on. But you're not willing to call my show directly? Let's go back to the fact that he immediately made this tweet to defend to defend the prosecution side, but to be a prosecutor. He'd be like, I would have done much more prosecuting this than this bumbling moron. So your bias really is, you really think that Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty of something. Now, this was 10 hours ago, so it's incredulous to me, because as we continue to review these clips, as we get closer to 0 hour, which is now, that we get a massive change in narrative. Next tweet from 10 hours ago says, here's why you don't focus on the man shot in the arm. I said this years ago. I love calling you out for your bullshit, Joe. This happened literally a year and October, September. Okay, so about a month and 3. It's under a year and 3 months. A year and 2 months and 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. So your statement from 10 hours ago says, here's why you don't focus on the man shot in the arm. I said this years plural, ago. Number 1, he drew on Kyle. Number 2, he believed it was an active shooting. Sounds like you're trying to defend him. Number 3, he wasn't finished off or killed because Kyle didn't want to kill him. You could reasonably conclude. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say there. Number 4, firearm license expired. I don't know what you're trying to say with this fucking tweet. 10 hours ago, again, right after this one. Number 1, Antifa burns businesses. Number 2, guy shows up with gun to protect them or be weird? Question mark. This is the typical Joe Cronin that we all know. This is the fucking fence-sitting piece of shit that we all fucking know. Are you fucking stupid? Did you not do any fucking effort in researching his background? He embodies, those that actually have the idea and morals of duty and community service do. Be someone who puts themselves in harm's way to protect others. Or be weird. Be weird how? Like doing a mass shooting or something? Oh, going to LARP and fucking, he had no fucking backup. You got fucking LARPers out there. You got fucking LARPers wearing all the tactical fucking shit. Fucking guts out hanging out like fucking bullfrog. AR-15, but they can't even fucking sling it properly. No, those are the fucking LARPers. You had this lone fucking guy that, yeah, he was with his friend, but then they got split up. Lone fucking guy. Do his shit. And you're going to fucking use this little fucking jab. Be weird? Always have I fucking experienced this with you, Joe. This fucking fence-sitting bullshit. This fucking disgusting inability, first of all, to grow some balls and to be a fucking man. Or be weird? Where the fuck are you getting this shit from? Also, shout out to the anonymous donator who just donated. Thank you so much for your support and your views. But this is the little slip and jabs. The little fucking slip and jabs that are all fucking so annoying. Because it's the same thing. And it's the same thing for the last 6 years. 7 years, actually. I started working with Joe about 2014, late 2014, early 2015. Or be weird. Let's continue. Point 3. Crazy person attacks him, gets shot. You mean the pedophile or the domestic abuser or the felon who had a license that had expired and was totally willing to continue to take out his firearm with him? Try that shit in Canada. You're going to SWAT team on your ass. They'll fucking surround your car on the highway and there'll be a massive takedown. Number 4. Now we have trial. Not a trial? Okay. Then he says, good job, Kenosha. Next time, don't allow riots and none of this escalation happens. Are you going to say the same to those that are running Portland? Because they've purposely chosen to defund the police. And we've seen these autonomous zones. We've seen the chaos. Was it $600 million worth of damage a month ago? While the police have been told to stand down and do nothing? This is the shit that you endorse, Joe. This is your leftist mentality. Next thing is, we have this video where Joe retweets his I'm dying.
I walked through a police station.
This is a witness that's being questioned by the prosecution.
Things in your report.
Objection! First of all, it was, like I said, when I first walked into the police station, I walked through a police station that didn't even have a door. Didn't have no glass attached. There was glass on the ground, completely all shattered on the ground. I have photos, don't worry. Guys have been waiting constantly.
Things in your report.
Objection! First of all, it was, like I said, when I first walked into the police station, I walked...
It's on repeat. So now he's starting to, you can see this is 9 hours ago. Now it seems like he's starting to come onto the side of Rittenhouse. Let's continue. This is the next tweet. Cross-examination is beyond any doubt the greatest legal engine ever invented for the discovery of truth. Quote, John Henry Wigmore. So this is, I believe, the time where this fucking idiot admits that he was firing a weapon.
Sometime during the incident, my Gen 4 Glock 27 that has a belt clip attached fell off my waist. That's a lie, right?
I wouldn't say that's a lie, no.
You didn't take the Glock out of your back here and run with it?
I did.
So it didn't fall off your waist, it was in your hand.
That's correct.
So you would say that's not a lie? At this
You just perjured yourself.
point, you're holding a loaded, chambered Glock 27 in your right hand.
40 caliber, just a reminder, people. That's not for fucking killing squirrels, okay? That's got stopping power and it's got some sting to it. That's meant to kill.
Yes?
That is correct, yes.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
That's hilarious. I was about to play that actual sound clip. I'm glad they added it to this video. So, we have Joe now tweeting this. What's up, Z the Reaper, in the chat? Shout out to the 52 viewers. 19 thumbs up, 11 thumbs down, and soon enough, those thumbs down won't even show because, well, YouTube's chiding to Biden. You know, they love to sniff the kids, and those thumbs down won't even show. So keep it up. Try to get as many as possible. Maybe they'll stay, you know, for those videos that actually were made before this change. I doubt it. But you never know. I mean, you know, I got a lot of trolls out there, and they like to have fun. So here you go. There's a little fun thing for you, you know. But, yeah, Chad in the chat says, Judge should have ended it right there. Absolutely. Remind me again, Chad, what the exact term was. Was it definitive or defensive? Fuck, I got to look this up. The terms in America and Canada are quite different. But let me actually find this for you because he gave me the actual American term for it. And basically where it falls. Hold on. Directed verdict. Directed verdict. And yeah, that basically as soon as he said that should have been it. It's over. That's it. No need to even question you know, Rittenhouse as a witness. No. As soon as that occurred, that's it. It's over. Let me see here. Somebody's messaging me. Hold on. Come on. Please. All right, hold on. All right, so good news there. Let's continue. Oh, did I? Oh, no. Hold on. Let's go here. I thought I'd close the tab that I was using. All right. So we have a change, obviously, in Joe's opinion. And this is always what bothered me when working with Joe, and he would deflect this and even at some points try to gaslight. Where it's like, I never said that at all. It's like I got a clip that you said that. Well, no, I did. Well, you know, that's you're imagining things. No, but here's the proof. So it's very Orwellian in the sense that somebody changes their opinion and pretends like they never had a previous opinion in the first place. So then Joe continues on hours ago, says, CNN, MSNBC, and social media can make up a story all the want, paint a false narrative, picture all you want. But you are in a courtroom with the evidence being presented. Facts don't care about your feelings or agenda. Well, if you know Dave Rose, I said that from the get-go. Got shit on for being on your show, but now you're using my lines. Interesting. But, yeah, now he's shitting on the, like, because we heard that clip. He loves to see CNN for the maps. He loves the maps. Makes another clip, says, can't imagine why crazy sex offender would want to say he's going to kill you and chase you down, then get shot. And this is showing a clip of Rosenbaum trying to chase Rittenhouse and eventually gets shot. But we have a clear change now, people. A clear change in the opinion. A clear change in the agenda. He goes on and he says... he quotes Jack Posebiec again and says, judges explained to Kyle again and again why it's a bad idea. I testified in the case himself. So this goes back to what he was saying earlier, that he would, if given the opportunity, just to go work with the prosecution. He's not realizing or even admiring American law and the right to self-defense. No, his immediate choice, let's go work for the prosecution and fuck up this kid. Skype lines remain open, especially to you, Joe Cronin. He then tweets, oh, what a fucking surprise. He retweets the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. Oh, you mean the fucking perpetual fence sitters? The fucking cowards? The one that I always said you were? I always said you were a fucking libertarian. Oh, I'm an independent. No, that's how you're registered, stupid. That's not your political stance. Stop being stupid. So he retweets them. They say, you can make up complete lies about Kyle Rittenhouse and won't get banned, but if Kyle Rittenhouse was innocent, you will be. So it's just a retweet of somebody that got banned from Twitter because they violated their rules against glorifying violence. Well, yeah, Joe, put that out there. Joe then goes on and says, Kyle needs to sue CNN, GoFundMe, and several others when this is over for calling him a white supremacist and a mass shooter. I would sue everyone. You would pretend that you would do something, you never do something. That's what you do. That is your MO, your modus operandi, Joe. You keep pretending that you were going to do something and you never do. And remember, a year ago, you weren't like this at all. You were totally against this kid. You thought what he did was illegal. And as always, your fucking racial pandering ways were making it, trying to look like he was the evil one. But how convenient now. Is there, maybe you're getting money now? Maybe people are donating. This is why you keep promoting this story. Next retweet from Joe is... basically says, breaking report as prosecution case crumbles and rests, Facebook blocks all search items and news articles referring to Kyle Rittenhouse. Are you fearing a defamation case? Well, from what you said, Joe, you should be fearing a defamation case personally, because what you said was fucking totally false. What Leah said was totally fucking false. Joe then 6 hours ago, only 6 hours ago, so that would have been about noontime Eastern, Rittenhouse just had a legit crying panic attack describing the moments he was cornered. Maybe that's why they had to take him in the stand. Humanize him, I guess. Listen, faggot. You get fucking panic attacks, Joe Cronin, from simple things. You've never, well, I don't think you've ever held a firearm, but you've certainly shown your disdain for the Second Amendment and your ignorance of firearms. But you have no idea what it is to be cornered by a mob of people, because you acquiesce so easily. You suck dick, no problem. And again, oh, black people, oh, I'm so evil because I'm white. No, that's what you do. You acquiesce. And it's very fucking clear that you've never been in this sort of experience, and your lack of firearm knowledge proves it. But, you know, forget about Joe's little other panic attacks and shit, you know. This guy actually had his life fucking flash before his eyes, but no, Joe Cronin, it's perfectly fine if you go whine and bitch. Then he goes on and he retweets Tim Pool, a fucking, also another fence sitter, and also someone who's bald and yet wears a hat to try to hide that baldness. Tim Pool's a fucking cuck. But he tweets, Kyle Rittenhouse begins crying during his testimony. Judge calls for 10-minute break. You know what? I will play this, but it is Joe that is retweeting this.
The car source lot number 2 was.
What happened to your stance that this guy was a stupid kid that illegally brought firearms over the border and that he was just a white supremacist and stuff? Like, well, what happened to that? What happened to that? Just got a... Oh, this is interesting. Thank you, Sparrow, for this information. James Woods tweets out. This was August 27th, 2020. It looks like. Here's a potential assassin learning a lesson about self-defense, the Second Amendment, and what real courage looks like. Joe responds with, now, is this the first shot fired, or had he shot someone before? This other guy, Matt Skillet guy, says he shot the bald guy first who was running after him. And then Joe responds with, and this was on the same date, 27th of August. Oh shit, okay, that ruins his case now, kinda. He fired unarmed man and then people tried to stop him. So that's Joe responding to James Woods, I should say. As we've seen in the past many times, Joe, emotional female type, reacts in the typical female way, emotionally, and will immediately start to say the shit. But now that the truth comes out, crickets. Well, not just crickets, but also, because we're not hearing your call on the call here, Joe, but a total flip. A total flip. Perhaps a flip-flop. Into this new narrative. I always supported this. Kyle Rittenhouse was always right.
And did you get back? Were you able to go in a northerly direction?
I wasn't.
Describe what happens.
Once I take that step back, I look over my shoulder and Mr. Rosenbaum was...
The pedophile. The convicted 5-time pedophile.
Now running from my right side. And I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski. And there were... There were 3 people right there.
Why don't you talk to the people that I know? The vets. The ones that went to war. The ones that were forced to take lives. Why don't you talk to them so that you know what this guy's saying is absolutely legit? Deep
breath, pal.
Real men don't like to take life.
That's what
Real men don't LARP.
That's right, run.
Imagine having to be forced to relive that moment where you don't even know if you're going to live. If you don't even know that you're going to see your mother again. That you went there to try to do good. To try to help people. Because your objective always was to become a police officer, which that's what it was. Not to be this fucking corrupt, bully, fucking psycho fuck that you see many of in the police forces that just want to kill people. Actually, somebody who want to give back to their community.
Time for our break anyway. You can just relax for a minute, sir. We're going to take a break about 10 minutes, and please don't talk about the case during the break. Read, watch, or listen to any account of the trial.
And then he continues on. He retweets Boogie2988, who says, "Fuck this prosecutor. We're really going to lean on the video games made him do it trope. Eat shit. Fuck you. Now I hope he gets off." Oh, so Boogie, a former fat fuck piece of shit, who took the easy way out by getting his stomach stapled, now thinks or hopes that he should get off. Well, if you were aware of this case from day one, you'd have known that he needed to get off. And that sounds a little bad, but you know what I'm saying. That's pathetic. Fuck you, Boogie. And fuck you too, Joe, for tweeting this shit.
You'd play
in video games that resemble all guns.
Isn't it true when you would hang out with Dominic Black, you'd play Call of Duty and other first-person shooter video games?
Sometimes.
And those are games in which you use weapons like AR-15s to pretty much shoot anybody who comes at you.
You know what I used to do as a kid? This was back in the 80s. We'd buy cap guns, and we'd shoot each other. Pretend that we're getting shot and stuff. We get sticks and pretend to shoot each other. Did any of us go crazy? Commit a mass shooting? No.
Correct?
It's a video game where two players are playing together.
By the way, who was it exactly? What was that fucker's name? Jack something or other. He went after GTA and, was trying to correlate some sort of, I believe it was a mass shooting with, with video games. By the way, a mass shooting now, they've changed the definition, by the way. The government always loves to fuck around with this shit because Detroit was proving too much of a problem. Used to be 4 people killed, or shot, I should say. 4 people shot in a shooting. Now it's 5. There was only 3 people in this situation, so no mass shooting occurred.
I don't really understand the meaning of your question, to be honest.
Isn't one of the things people will do in these videos?
This is pathetic, okay? The way this guy is trying to reach, saying, "Oh, well, you played this game." Well, you know what? I played Mario Brothers, but I wasn't fucking, eating mushrooms and fucking, jumping off brick buildings. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Hold on. Wrong tab. Let's try that again.
Video games, try and kill everyone else with your guns.
Also, wasn't the left the ones who were defending video games in the past? Again, the prosecutor is a leftist. But wasn't it the left in the past that's saying, no, Tipper Gore, Al Gore, no, you guys are dumb. Video games aren't causing these problems. Wasn't the left doing it before? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, in the video game, it's just a video game. It's not real life. It's in video games that resemble all guns.
This is fucking pathetic. So, that's the end of Joe's little tweet escapade. Joe, this isn't 1984. You're not fucking Oceana, who can claim that the war changed without even recognizing it. We recognize what you're doing here. A year ago, you were saying this guy was a little white supremacist. Even your tweets still show it. He wanted to go there to help or be weird? So it's still not getting into your mind that there are people with a sense of duty, a sense of honor, commitment, community? You can't accept that? Of course you can't. You're from I think you grew up in New Hampshire, entitled, again, adopted only child. So that's double compounded on the entitlement. And you want to be all so great. You want to virtue signal. And you want to be all so great to all the, the brown lesser races, right? They're your little slaves, aren't they? Your little pets. You know, you want to continue to try to acquiesce to them, to make them think, of course, that you have their benefits in mind. But when you get proven wrong, you quickly switch over to the proper narrative so that you can't be called out on the false one. But, well, for my review on the election there, I think we did a really good job there and exposing your tweets. Because, again, what kind of person fucking is constantly deleting their Twitter account and then coming back? Like, are you on your period or something? Are you having some sort of bitch fest? Like, what the fuck is going on? Stop with this fucking bullshit. Either get off fucking Twitter or stay on permanently and stop fucking doing this shit. It's fucking sad. It's fucking pathetic. Oh, my God, people. My God. And it's got to be called out. It's got to be called out. You know, I didn't need to do this, but the Rittenhouse stuff is too important. Because I called it out from the fucking get-go. And Joe wanted to act the way Joe does. Virtue signaling, be a fucking fence-sitting, you know, individual. But we know he's a fucking commie leftist. So we can even see up to this point, he still is trying to support the claims against Rittenhouse. Whether it be to purport that he would do a better job prosecuting him, when I'd be the one fucking proposing that I defend him pro bono. But also, well, was he going there to protect or be weird? Or be weird? Look, douchebag, you're the one who fucking LARPs. You're the one who fucking bought yourself a fucking crossbow. Oh, look at you. Can't defend shit. Maybe if you attached explosive ends to those, they might actually work. And plus you call them bullets. I believe you called the magazine that you load them into this particular crossbow as a clip, which it's not. And you show your ignorance. So what the fuck are you going to do with a crossbow? And who the fuck are you to even claim authority on knowledge when it comes to firearms? Oh, Leah handle firearms, she hates them? Well, then there's a problem with her head, because what's so scary about firearms? And your wife who handled them and you who, you know, is so ignorant of them won't even have one in your house to defend them? Well, when shit hits the fan, good luck. I mean, what else can I tell you? If you actually think that you can defend yourself with a crossbow, you will be highly mistaken. And, well, just take a look at what happens in, say, South Africa, for example. And that's your fate, Joe Cronin. That's your fate. You don't want to take it seriously? Keep being this fucking, you know, pussy? Fucking defending shit that should never be defended? That's your fate. Just look to South Africa, and that's what's going to happen. And, you know, don't say I didn't warn you, because I've been warning you since the day that I first fucking met you. I told you fucking what's important to do and what you need to get to defend yourself. But, hey, what the fuck do I know? You know, it's not like I actually graduated from high school as opposed to having to acquire a GED. It's not like I actually went to college multiple times and got either on the dean's list or got honors. No, what the fuck does Dave Rose know? Dave Rose doesn't know shit. Now, does he? No, it's the one who knows the feelings from Boston, who truly knows the truth, right? But yet you won't debate me. You won't fucking debate me. You won't debate me on anything. And when even confronted, you're like, well, I don't know what to debate. I don't know what to debate. Is that because you know that you'll lose? Is that because you know that all you're doing is fucking trying to pander? Why don't you just come out and admit it? That's always what I want. Someone come out and admit it. Once you admit it, like again, Bullfrog, just fucking show me the proof that you really are the retard that, you know, you claim to be. Oh, you are. Well, it's no longer even in my desire to even pursue you, because now I see that I was correct. And, well, you really are worthless. So, same thing. Why don't you just admit the truth, Joe? Why don't you just admit the truth? It's very easy. And why don't you have the guts to fucking debate me, though? That's the thing. Why don't you have the guts to debate me? It's a simple fucking thing. And if you're so confident in your stance, you should be able to defend yourself without any fucking problem. You should be able to make me look like a fool. But why not one attempt to take me up on that offer? It's clearly evident as to why that is. Let's see here. Skype lines are open. Hoping somebody will call in. I was considering reviewing a few other things, but I just don't want to even give them the time. These people are below me and they're below you. You know, they'll talk shit and such, and they get no views and they get very little traction. But, you know, they want to talk shit and stuff, and I'm not really going to acknowledge them because it's pointless. There's no value in doing so. And yes, of course, they might want to claim there is, but no, it's a waste of time. And, you know, I could definitely go into this. There's a lot of people that were telling me that they would like me to address certain things, but it's fucking sad at this point. Let's go back here to the chat. Bam says, yes, he's an admitted Bernie supporter. Yeah, Joe is an admitted Bernie supporter. And all you really have to do is look into his politics to understand what he's about, and you'd realize Bernie is a fucking commie scumbag. So anybody of right mind would never fucking vote for him. But I guess that research fell to the wayside when it came to Joe. JR for the third says, wait until the stores run out of food and power goes out. Yep, it's coming. Cody Master says, I guess I go out for dinner and now there's a video made on me by YR. I don't know about that. I can see that. But I was considering bringing out, like I said earlier in the show, I was considering bringing out some extra things when it came to this stream. I wanted to specifically talk about this, and I was actually holding off. I was like, I don't really want to talk about it, but you know, there's the fact that there is the anniversary of me not being on Joe's show, and how I like to rub it into the into the gullet of people like Luke Rojas, reminding him that yes, I am his superior, and that no, I have not acquiesced and gone back to Joe. But I also wanted to address the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, because I remember from the get-go where Joe was trying to place a narrative, and I was the one that was defending the situation and got shit on, as always. But, as always, Dave Rose got proven correct. So I do take pleasure in that. But I would love to have some sort of opportunity to debate Joe Cronin. And at least try to mend things and figure things out. But it's obviously very clear that he does pander. And, you know, if he'd be willing to come out and admit it, might be a little bit better. But who knows? So, seeing as we're not getting any callers in, let's see here. Just want to check a few things on Skype. I think we're going to wrap it up since no callers are calling in. But I did want to cover this particularly because it does relate to the Kyle Rittenhouse case. But yeah, I wanted to cover that. We have apparently No Hard Feelings on tonight. So Ken, who was feeling a little under the weather last night, will be in fact airing live tonight on No Hard Feelings with Nikki Nines and Mars Miro. So you can find that exclusively on on the Foulmouth Network Patreon. only for $1, can you get access to the show. And it should be a good one. I know that they have apparently a fair bit to talk about. I don't know exactly what, but I was told that there's going to be a few things of weight that will be reviewed. And yeah, I definitely look forward to it. So that should be fun tonight. Not too sure what else might be happening. Oh, 8 o'clock tonight, we have, what is it? AEW Dynamite. So if you like the fake fighting, aka pro wrestling, which I do, be sure to check that out because that will be airing 8 o'clock tonight, either on TSN in Canada or on TBS in the United States. I think it's TBS tonight. Regardless. Yeah, I do appreciate you sitting through this little review. I don't mean to rhyme, but that's just fine. And I'm surely no Sean's view, but what can you do? So, on that note, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate the donation from the anonymous donor. And, yeah, who knows when we will see each other next time. Also, a big show being planned for Smug Canadians, and a drama, well, not a drama diner, sorry, a Too Many Chefs. Too Many Chefs coming up. I'm trying to just put the final things together, and I've got a few ideas, but if you want to suggest them in the chat, please do. Have a little bit of writer's block because of that, so hoping to come back with a lot more episodes for Too Many Chefs. And, well, Darkest Things is still something that I'm trying to put together. And, yeah, so a lot more good stuff in store, and not just drama, actually. So on that note, I am the one and only Devious Dave Rose. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up here today, and we shall see you next time.